Hey everyone, it's Tyler from Universal Rackets, and today we're going to go over how to become a intermediate or advanced level player. If you're a beginner, if you're a club level, if you're just starting out in tennis, if you watch these videos, we will go over tendencies that beginners make that intermediate and advanced players don't. So the first thing that beginner players do is that they have different strokes for different balls, right? So what they do is if a ball's this high, they're going to swing this high. If the ball's low, they're going to swing low. If the ball's here, they're going to swing there. Notice I have so many different swings. The intermediate, the advanced players, the really good players, what they do is they have critiqued one stroke. They have their forehand here, they have their backhand here, and instead of adjusting, if the ball's super high, and instead of adjusting my swing, watch what I'm going to do. If the ball's super high, I'm going to move it back, I'm going to let the ball drop, and then I'm going to hit it. Again, if the ball's up for the forehand, right? I have one swing. Here is where my contact is, but I'm going to move up to the ball, and then I'm going to hit it. So if you can adjust your swing, or if you can adjust your feet instead of your swing, then you're going to be so much better off and you will be able to play better tennis. Yeah, okay, you will be able to hit the ball inconsistently by going like this, but eventually there will be a time that you will peak and you won't be able to hit any pace. You won't be able to hit through these people. And again, it's just because you're stopping with your racket. Where you have to go is when the ball's super high. Watch, instead of stopping here, I'm going to move back, adjust, and then I'm going to follow through and hopefully make the ball in. That ball was a little bit out. But again, by adjusting my feet instead of my swing, that's going to level you up. The next thing that you can do is you can ensure that you follow through every single time. Remember, my favorite quote in tennis is what? In order to gain control, you have to give up control. I gotta make a song about it, guys. But if you can follow through every single time, it's going to level you up. A lot of beginner players, a lot of players starting out, they're thinking about getting the ball over. So not only are they changing their swing, but they're stopping, right? They're hitting, they're stopping, they're hitting, they're stopping. I teach so many tennis lessons, and the number one thing that I used to do is I would tell them, hey, you got to follow through. And you have to see the look on their faces when they make contact with these balls. You're going to hit balls bigger than you ever have before. So make sure that you follow through every single time. Once again, you need to follow through every single time. If you're a beginner player and you struggle with follow through, a great way to ensure that you follow through every single time is once you're done, watch. When I swing from my forehand, here we are, look where my elbow's facing. When I swing from my backhand, here we are. When I finish, look where my elbow's facing. My elbows are facing forward. So if you can think, if you're a beginner player picking it up and you swing and you're pointing your elbow forward, you're swinging and you're pointing your elbow forward, that's going to ensure that you follow through every single time. So again, instead of keeping it short, make sure you keep it long and make sure you let that racket go. The next thing, and this is going to help you out with both of the things that I just mentioned. Beginner players, they grip the racket way too tight. If you grip the racket way too tight, it is not going to be right. Once again, if you grip the racket way too tight, it is not going to be right. A lot of beginner players, they think power comes from their arms. You need to grip this racket as super hard as possible, and you're going to swing to get the ball in. Instead of gripping that racket super hard, you need to grip the racket loose. On a scale of 1 to 10, you need to be a 3 or less. So if you want to get to that next level, all you have to do is grip the racket looser. Make sure you let the racket work for you and don't work for the racket. So that's another thing that you can do. One more thing, and last thing that we're going to go over, is make sure you keep your feet active. Once again, I want to make sure I keep my feet active. I'm always on my toes. I'm always moving. A lot of players, when they're beginning, they're being reactive, not proactive. And what that means is I'm standing here, I'm waiting to see what my opponent does. Oh no, they hit a ball, and then I move up, right? I am being reactive, not proactive. If you want to switch yourself without improving your forehand, without improving your backhand, without even improving your serve, all you're going to do is instead of being reactive, you're going to be proactive. You're going to be on your toes. You're going to be moving. You're going to be hitting and trying to see, or at least get back to the middle of the court every single time to see where your opponent can go. Now, if you guys listen to these tips, I didn't try to put them in order, But if you can follow each and every tip helps the other tips, right? So what I mean by that, if I struggle with hitting balls at different heights, I'm not moving my feet. If I'm being reactive or proactive and not reactive, that's going to help me get into better positions to hit, right? If I am being proactive, not reactive, that's going to do that. If I hold the racket looser, that's going to ensure that I follow through. If I follow through, that's probably going to ensure that I let the racket go, right? So these tips all work together. So if you can use these tips, you will be able to get over that plateau in your tennis game. You will be able to get to a whole nother level. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know in the comments below. Let me know if these tips helped you. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, Tennis with Tyler. Make sure to subscribe on my YouTube. Have a good one, guys. Get to that next level, and I'll see you guys on court.